So this is something new I'm going to be doing, which is kind of showing off things I have. In this case, it is a graded copy, CGC graded, of Captain Marvel number 46, and I have a bunch of these. So if anybody is unaware, you can submit comics from any age, right up to brand new comics, to be graded and then placed in a case. In this case, it's a solid plastic case, airtight. The original point of this was for comic preservation because these comics, particularly these Golden Age comics, um, they're over time they will disintegrate, and so in this case, hopefully it will greatly slow down the rate of decay, given that it is protected in a case and not being exposed to air. So I haven't bought one of these in probably over a decade, but I do have a ton. So I'm going to kind of go through just a small amount, but I'll do more videos if they're popular. So I am a huge fan of Captain Marvel. And I will admit something that if I had my choice between Captain Marvel and Superman from this era, I would go with Superman. They had a very similar trajectory in the sense that um, Superman was introduced in, I believe, 1938 in Action Comics and then went on to have his own series, which was Superman in, I believe, 1940. Whereas Captain Marvel started in Wiz Comics, which, like Action Comics, was a compilation of different characters, and then got his own series, which was Captain Marvel. And so I kind of was debating between Captain Marvel and Wiz Comics, but I decided to go with Captain Marvel because it is dedicated to Captain Marvel rather than having Captain Marvel appear in it. The slabbing of comics can be somewhat controversial. It's not controversial with me, but some people don't like the fact that comics are put in cases and no longer readable. I think that's silly uh, because I could put this in a safe and then it wouldn't be readable. Now, you could say, well, you can open a safe up. You can open these cases up. These cases are made so that you can open up the case without damaging the comic. The comic is held in there um, very securely. It's got just a few little plastic pieces around there that hold it in there. So it's held in there without putting any pressure on the comic. I keep these in a box so that they're not exposed to light. And that's kind of one of the reasons I quit collecting because I'm not showing them off. I could, and I've considered it, putting them in a case and creating some kind of a frame for it and showing it off, but I haven't. So the way this works is it shows up here at the top. I'm not sure if anyone can read it. Captain Marvel Adventures number 46, Fawcett Publications, came out May 1945. It is a 9.2 grade. That is a very high grade for a Golden Age comic, a 9.2. You can go on the CGC website and they will show a census for these comics. In this case, Captain Marvel Adventures number 46, there are two that are 9.6. That is a high grade. That is a crazy high grade. There is one 9.4 and then there's this 9.2. So this is the fourth highest grade that is known for CGC. And I'm willing to bet, because I have not seen these move much, I'm willing to bet that there ain't much more than that. So this would be probably the fourth highest grade in the world. Now, this is actually up here, it says Crowley copy. William Crowley was the publisher of Fawcett Comics, and William Crowley would keep 2 or 3 comics just for reference material. And this one was owned by William Crowley. Now, you might think, wow, that these guys got a comic owned by the publisher of Fawcett. I actually own a ton of these Crowley copies, and there does not seem to be any premium on the price of a Crowley copy. So when I was buying these, the only reason I got so many Crowley copies was because Crowley kept them in really good condition. So this, like I said, was owned by the the publisher at the time, William Crowley. So it's also got in here a number, so it makes it a unique identifier. So I will show a few more, but I will show more over time if people would like to see. Oh, by the way, the point I was trying to make about Superman was that if I were to collect Superman, let's say Superman number 20, as opposed to Captain Marvel number 20, because I kind of looked out there. Well, how would they compare? Superman number 20 versus Captain Marvel. Now, Captain Marvel was about 2 years after. So take the time and shift it forward 2 years. Superman was about 10 times for the same grade. So, and that's understandable. I had thought maybe Captain Marvel, these comics might go up because I bought these prior to the two movies that came out. Actually, technically three with Black Adam. Didn't seem to make a dent in the in the prices. So, giving more notoriety to the character didn't seem to move the prices at all. So I will show another one, and I don't only have Captain Marvel, but I'm only going to be showing Captain Marvel this time. So we have number 67, which is another 9.2, and then it also says up here, off-white to white pages, which is really good for a Golden Age comic. Sorry about all the light reflecting off. And it's got some information. Otto Binder story, CC Beck cover. So CC Beck did this cover, and then art by Pete Costanza and CC Beck. This one came out in November 1946. So that's an old comic that I own, and it's pretty neat. I'd have to look up later what the census is on this. Although a lot of the comics I own are the highest grade. At least they were. We'll see if they still are. This is number 80 from January 1948. Off-white to white pages. And Origin of Captain Marvel Retold. So that's a pretty cool one. And then just one more today. And then this is a 9.4. And I believe it may be tied for the high. Let me check. I can actually look this up. So this is, again, off-white to white pages. So I'm off to the side looking this up right now. Oh, it doesn't want to play nicely with me. Come on. All right, new search. Captain Marvel Adventures. Number 72. Okay, I don't love this cover. I don't like when they mix in an actual photograph with the artwork. I think it looks a little weird. Okay, so there are actually two 9.6s. So this is tied for third in the world. And so that is a tiny, tiny fraction of my CGC graded collection. I also have a lot of war comics, a lot of Western comics, and then I have other ones too. So this is the first video I'm going to do on this, but if it gets a nice reaction, I will certainly do more, and I have a lot of Captain Marvel comics to show off.